Alright, another inmendham video production. Kind of some physics stuff in this one, no doubt. It's more of the Puro stuff probably, and some comments and such. And then I just saw this video by Cliff Tango. I just linked to this guy. Didn't do much good though. 42 subscribers. Shoutouts really aren't worth much anymore. Kind of surprising how ineffectual I am. But anyway. So I did this video on the double slit experiment, just horrible crap. So it's quick, so we'll run through it, but just a piece of absolute shit.
For this experiment you need photons, 2 slits.
Yeah, it really won't work that way. You got to use one color light, so they got to be photons of monochromatic light, or you're not going to get a very readable pattern.
And the screen. You fire the photons at the screen and put the 2 slits in the way.
Let's remember 2 slits are 1 slit and 1 slit. Yes, that's what 2 slits are.
After a while, you'd expect to get this pattern.
Well, no you wouldn't. See, if you knew anything about physics, like Newton's physics, Newton spent a lot of time playing with light. And it's kind of famous, Newton's rings, playing with small apertures. And so, since Newton, that means a couple hundred years, it has been known that this isn't what you're going to get. That the slit will diffract the light, each one of the slits, and you're going to get a pattern of some kind. That would be what you would expect if you knew anything about Newton's physics. That's right. Old, archaic Newton wouldn't have told you that this is what you'll see. Newton would have said, no, you won't see that. You'd be an idiot to think that's what's going to happen. That's what Newton would tell you.
But what you get instead is this.
Yes, and you don't get that though. So this is how he draws it, because he's doing a simple video, but it really isn't have anything to do with the truth. So this is what you get, the double slit pattern, which is 2 patterns. There's the pattern of the little bars, and then there's the breaks in the pattern. And that's the pattern you get with a double slit. And this is the pattern you get with a single slit. Now with a very wide opening, this is the pattern. Very, very narrow opening. Really, really, really narrow. You get this pattern. Just kind of, big blob, little blob. Maybe a little tiny one here, maybe a little tiny one there. But that's what you get with a single slit. That's the facts. This is crap. Okay, this is not this. Not even close to this. So, propaganda much.
An interference pattern.
But how do bullets act like waves? Well, they don't.
So now we want to have a closer look at what's happening. Which slit does the photon pass through? This one or this one?
Well, you can't really do that measurement without interfering with the photon, you see. So the problem is you have to measure a photon, you have to have it actually hit an electron. And if you do that, you're going to probably change where it's going to go. That's a problem.
Well, when we do that, we get this pattern.
Yeah, no you don't. Again, he's just denying the existence of the single slit, so it doesn't happen. This has never been done anyway. Again, you can't measure, you can't detect photons. You have to hit them with something too big. It's like saying you're going to detect a Volkswagen where it's going down the highway by putting a cement wall in front of it and have it hit the cement wall. And then you're going to build a new Volkswagen on the other side. It's not going to tell you much. Did the universe just split in 2? No, it didn't do any of that crap. And if people were just a little bit logical, they'd realize that.
So what can we say about all this?
That you've been poorly educated, and that the talking head propaganda has, rotted your brain when it comes to doing a little bit of basic logic.
Do photons moonlight in other universes?
No.
Do cats die and not die at the same time?
No.
I don't know.
Well, I do. I know that sounds like absolute bullshit. And I know there's simple answers to things. Physics gets simpler, not more complicated. No. Bricks are simpler than the buildings they make.
Can say is that the photons, the behavior of the photons, seems to be linked to...
Now, it doesn't seem to be unless you're not paying much attention. Like you didn't do the single slit. See, if you did the single slit experiment, then you'd say, hey, wait a minute, I'm not going to expect that stupid blobby pattern.
By observation. Before we look, they...
Yeah, so observation. There's no such thing as observating a photon. You can't observate a photon without catastrophically interfering with its direction, where it's going to go.
Exist in a state of probability waves.
Yes, well, that's just another piece of crap made up by silly people.
By looking at them, we make them real.
Yes, well, that's another big, giant, steaming piece of shit.
Whatever that means.
Yes, it means you gotta try again, because this is a piece of shit of a video. So, yeah. Bad try. Thanks for watching. Well, I wish I didn't see it, actually. I would have felt a lot better if I didn't see that at all. So that was just plain shit. So, thank you for shitting on the internet. Okay. So, this video, I believe, has some junky comments on it, so we'll do some of these. Alright, this Paul guy. Well, there isn't any on here. I guess it's on the physics one. So this guy's, he ends up, look, you know, I've been trying to reconcile a problem about pain and suffering. That video is not about pain and suffering. It's about stupid Pierrot and his stupid, idiotic, crappy, dumb physics. So I really wish you'd stay a little bit on the subject. I mean, people bring up shit on videos, and it's just like, well, you know, they start talking about circumcision on videos that don't have anything to do about that. And it's just really irritating. People just suck. I just really find them so tedious and irritating. So some asshole defending Thunderfoot. Oh, jeez. I'll get to you eventually, buddy. Alright, this guy, Alessandro Porcelli, fucking douchebag. I have 3 comments he left. Okay, and by the way, well, I guess we'll read the first ones first, right? He thinks he's entitled to 3 comments on one video. Fucking cunt. It seems to me that you have more of a problem with the Copenhagen interpretation than QM. The framework of QM works. Well, again, I'm arguing it doesn't work in the first place. The math doesn't do this. It doesn't account for these breaks here at all. So show me the 2-slit math that accounts for these breaks. Go ahead, show it to me, fuckhead. The interpretation is something else. Now, it's not about the interpretation. It's about the whole idea that photons are a wave in the first place is rubbish. And then the idea of wave interference is super rubbish, because that requires the photon to split into 2, which is just plain shit. Okay, so because the simplest pattern in the universe is created by a wave interference pattern, and by this pattern, the simplest pattern in the universe, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, you think it has to be a wave. You say so. Well, fuck you and fuck your authorities. Yeah, he thinks he knows better, but the only ones who ever address it are either amateurs or crackpots. Well, again, so what category are you in, an amateur or a crackpot? Especially his objections to relativity make even less sense. Well, again, how do my objections to relativity make less sense? It makes less sense to think that velocity is something matter's actually doing, that the inertia isn't just a magic power, that the little quanta actually have to be moving, they have to be moved forward, and that movement requires consumption of their working time, and that clocks would move slower if you move them faster. Clocks that have a material element that makes them tick, especially atomic clocks. Oh yeah, that's just silly talk, right, because you say so, fuckhead. Also, he seems not to care about the actual predictive capabilities of the model. Again, what is it predicting? Show me the grand prediction over its physical realm, whatever that is. Whereas physicists are most concerned about predictions. Well, again, it didn't predict anything. Einstein's lensing still hasn't even been proven. Okay, he wasn't honored because of relativity. He was honored, I mean, he got credibility because lensing was verified in a most suspect manner, a very marginal experimental result, and he was accredited with accomplishing this prediction of lensing, and it's really never been verified substantially. So what are you talking about? Where are the grand predictions, fuckface? Shit for brain. Much less about interpretations. Don't get me wrong, physicists, oh, you know physicists, do you? And you think you know what they care about. Physicists do care about interpretations, but they come in second place. Oh yeah, they care about understanding exactly what's happening, right? No, they don't really give a shit about that. And what they care about is the fact that their voodoo seems magical. And so they can seem like they're smarter than everybody else because they pretend to understand their non-explanation of reality. You can just so fuck yourself, asshole. And by the way, it is way too easy shitting all over modern physics while rightfully destroying low-hanging fruits such as that moron. Oh, okay. So as long as Piro knows this guy's calling him a low-hanging fruit, why don't you go on Piro's video and call him a low-hanging fruit, you low fucking class motherfucker. Where's your credibility here? How long have you been arguing any of this shit? What's your fucking contribution? Oh, that's right, you don't have one, you fucking prick. Who clearly has no idea. Oh yeah, go ahead, type that on Piro's video, you stupid weasel. The polarization thing you tried to explain was only partially working analogy. Well, I don't know, how is it only partially working? I mean, I explained that the only thing the electron is recognizing is the polarized elements in a stream, and that's the photon. So there can be other pieces in the stream, but it only really cares about the polarized. Only the polarized elements are hitting it. You can't understand that, shithead? Not convincing in the slightest to the eyes of an academic. Are you an academic, weasel fuck? I don't think so. I don't think you have any credibility. You're just talking out of your fucking smelly ass. Analogies are just as useful as the things you are using actually behave like the ones you need to explain. What? Analogies are just as useful as the things you are using actually behave like the ones you need to explain. What the fuck was that crap? A gigantic run-on pile of shit. So anyway, fuck you. Oh, I think we'll do an official block for this fucker. I still don't know which is hiding or blocking. I don't know which one is supposed to do something. Let's see. Oh, he actually has some uploads? Amazing. How come he has no videos, though? So it's all other people's shit? Some kind of crap like that? Anyway, fuck you, you rude prick. Goodbye, and such. Talk to the fart winds where you belong. I just hate people. Lazy brains. Alright, you're a true skeptic, so all those scientists dreaming of building quantum computers are wasting their time. Well, there's a lot of people saying that, you know. This whole quantum computer thing has been gibberish for, almost 10 years now. And they don't have clue one, okay? It's looking more and more like they're never going to get a clue. And the only quantum computer you're going to get is probably going to be a nano computer. It's not going to be a quantum computer. It's just going to be something that uses smaller bits of atomic structure to store bits of information, and they're not going to be qubits. So, where's your Nobel Prize in Mendham? Well, first I have to be able to get into the critique argument, right? So first somebody has to, do this publication thing, and they're afraid of the idea. They're pussies. I mean, I've offered $5,000 for a decent physicist one of some sort of reputation to take a crack at it. Anyway, so this is another fucker that can go fuck himself. You have no redefined 100 years, so he couldn't even get the knot right. You have not redefined 100 years of quantum physics theory. Well, I think I have, in the sense that it's obvious that, you know, the Tango video just demonstrates. They keep talking as if certain experiments have been done that haven't been done, and they keep misdescribing the actual physics. That is, they keep pretending that if you had a single slit, just a blob of light ends up on the other side of the screen. And as I'm pointing out, you could go all the way back to Newton, and you could read in his own publications, and he'll show you that small apertures diffract light and create an interference pattern. What we call now an interference pattern. Jackass. On, off, on, off, on, off. All the way back at Newton's time. What exactly do you hope to accomplish with this method? Well, I guess I'm going to, part of what I'm going to accomplish is to out all you assholes. You're talking shit for brainers. You're the fucking real obstacle to progress. You don't know shit. You're talking way above your own education or your own knowledge. You're just an arrogant prick who thinks you're entitled to slander other people, degrade other people, just make raggy, shitty comments where you don't put up anything, you don't prove anything, you don't demonstrate anything with a single shred of evidence. You just spout what the Pope told you to say, you fucking weasel. You're a dickless piece of crap, and you have no integrity. You got no fucking balls. Seems to me wasted intelligence to be posting all this information on the internet. Oh yeah, that's a stupid thing to do, is post information on the internet. What asshole would do that? Oh man. How fucking clueless can you be? Seems Darwin might need to make room in the gene pool. Oh, that's interesting. For as silly as this bullshit espoused. Well, that's a brilliant, another guy who ends with a completely incomprehensible sentence. Way to go, shithead. He gets 5 thumbs up for that pile of steaming shit of a comment. And people wonder why I think people absolutely are fucking ballless, weaselly, fucking pussy shit. They deserve what they're gonna get. Anyway. So yeah, he's another guy worth blocking for sure. I'll just read the shithead who responded. Let's see. I don't have any knowledge to judge his physics theories, but one thing is for sure, he's not getting a Nobel Prize after putting dick pics on his site. LOL. I don't know what that would have to do with anything. So you're conceding the system is so broken and so without credibility that you know, if somebody doesn't have the proper personal life, they won't give them Nobel Prizes. You know, fuck you, asshole. You're worth blocking also. So, off I go. Hi-ho, hi-ho. To block another unaccountable, 0 subscribers, just another unaccountable stone thrower hiding behind little rocks. Little anonymous, dickless coward. Ugh. May God puke on your fucking head. Alright, unblockable 3. Well, I think I can block you. Jeez. People were, you know, they're just asking for it. How's that? I think I blocked you, asshole. I guess you're wrong about something else. Amazing. Okay, now do you, Brian. You fucking piece of shit. Yeah, no content, no subscribers, no nothing. Just a shit talker. Fuck you. Alright, there. That felt better. Alright, now off to Piro, I guess. I think that's it for the... Let's see if there's any other physics comments. We'll load a couple more. Let's see. Closed border shit. Yeah, this purple holiday cunt can go fuck himself too. Let's see. Do you have a conspiracy theory bias? Let's see. There are many crazy flat earthers, etc. However, numerous have studied 9/11. Oh, this is such a crock of shit. I mean, just, look at this. An aluminum alloy plane completely melting into a very sturdy build steel concrete building. Yeah, it's a concrete building that an airplane hit. But guess what? It was going, 378 miles an hour. Full of fuel, asshole. The fuel is what burned through the building. Building 7 collapsing in its own footprint in 9.8 meters per second per second. No, that's not what happened. So, again, you haven't even tried to find the truth, right? Because all you have to do is Building 7 collapsing, debunked, into Google. And you'll find lots of people explain to you that, look at the video, jackass. You can see the whole inside of the building fell down 4 seconds before you could even, before people saw anything on the surface of the facade of the building move. And you can tell because all the blinds flew out of the windows. They flew off of their moorings. The windows blew out and the blinds flew out because the floors were collapsing on the inside of the building, you dumb fuck. Oh, I mean, these truthers are so outraged. So every one of these stupid little fucking pieces of shit has been debunked. And these guys you have no fucking honesty. You have no integrity. You disgusting piece of shit. Ugh. God. Blocked. Okay. Well, they're a little extra fun. Ugh. God, I hate people. Alright. Now, back to Puro. I can't even watch his videos. I mean, it's just so bad. He's just so full of fucking shit. He's such a lying piece of crap. Alright, 2020, yeah, I got through like 2 notes and then I said, I gotta play this shit because that's just an outrageous statement by this stupid piece of shit. So he's talking about his stupid fucking idiotic theory that all life is conscious and all life is anything that moves.
And I use that as evidence that the behavior that we have is just eukaryotic behavior.
Right, so we have eukaryotic behavior. Eukaryotic means that you have a nucleus trapped inside of a cell. And so somehow we have eukaryotic behavior. We're a colony organism full of cells with nucleuses that completely live in an ocean of seawater. Okay, most of them completely immobile. And yet he says we're acting like them. No, we're not. We don't have anything to do with them. That's what we're made of. Again, it's just so stupid. He thinks like aluminum flies. You don't need an airplane. You just need aluminum. No. What a fucking retard.
So any behavior we have, we can't claim to have it, and parts don't have it. A brick church.
All right, I'll cut the speed down just because it's a little too fast. Idiot. Just a fucking idiot. I mean, it's just so fucking demonstrative evidence that consciousness takes place in neurons, brains with neurons.
It's made of bricks. And you could go, but it's a church, so it's different. No, it's made of bricks. It's quality that it has, the way it feels to the touch.
Oh, the way it feels to the touch. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the structure and the fact that the gravity and everything is completely different than the way the brick is functioning. The church functions completely different than the fucking goddamn brick. I mean, this is just so fucking stupid. I mean, the leather on a steering wheel, okay, is not anything like the steering wheel.
The way it smells is bricks.
Oh, right. Smelly bricks. The church is made out of smelly bricks.
Electrical wires. We're not the same thing mechanically. A cell and a communal organism is not...
See, you don't listen well. Actually, a cell has a very complicated set of chemical pathways.
Alright, I want to go back because the real part that pissed me off here is he did this shit where somehow this has something to do with him. Like somehow my opinion was adopted from his shit. Which is just such a lie.
Tendencies, we can look at the relationship we have to other things. And I don't know if consciousness, I mean, I'm sure consciousness as I understand it as a human, it probably doesn't extend outside the mammal kingdom. But a conscious that's similar and also should be called a consciousness is in the birds and the
Oh, wow, he gave birds a consciousness. Isn't that sweet? I mean, it's just so stupid. He has no criteria except some silly criteria that it moves like something that's alive. So all I have to do is have a wind-up toy. It's conscious because it's moving like a person.
You know, it's just a matter of how far down the tree of life you go.
The tree of life. Again, the tree of life, as if there's something that we have something in common with green slime or something. The cells inside a green slime. We have so much in common. No, we have nothing in common.
Well, I've been over this many times with you. You, again, are just the authority about where it stops.
I'm not saying I'm the authority about where it stops, and you goddamn know that. The only thing I'm saying is I'm the authority on being smart enough to figure out that consciousness happens inside of brains. That's why there's 100 billion neurons in there. That's why there's electricity in there. Fuckhead.
You're absolutely sure. And you don't seem to understand. There's people still right now today that think it doesn't even include all the mammals. They're idiots, but so are you.
It blows up the logic of evolution as a theory. So that's why I call it pantheism. Because it's a violation of evolutionary law.
What it is that I believe that whatever this life thing is, it goes down to.
Well, again, this life thing, and I've just repeated tons and tons of videos saying this life thing isn't what we think it is, okay? We're a colony organism. We're not even really technically alive. If a cell is a living thing, we're not a living thing. Because we're made of living things. The living things are slaves to our form and structure. And we're electric conduits.
Well, I'm pretty much sure this is another thing where you've adopted one of my views where...
I mean, it's just so offensive. I haven't adopted a single one of your stupid, cunt, idiotic fucking views. You have no evidence of that. Prove it or stop saying that, you lying piece of shit. You're a dumbass. I'm glad I haven't caught anything from you. You're a stupid motherfucking religious kook.
I have been fond for years of saying we are a colony of bacteria.
Well, if we're a colony of something, you're saying it's just a coincidence that the bricks and the building have the same exact function. They're both doing consciousness. The brain is sort of superfluous. We really didn't need to have one. We might as well just pull the brains out of our heads because it has nothing to do with being conscious. Because obviously the cells don't need a brain, so why the fuck do we need a brain? Alright, and then later on, now he's going to do the microtubule thing, so I'll jump a little ahead because I know it's coming. So he thinks the girders that are holding a cell together are now brains. That's good enough. Now you have a consciousness. You get thirsty and you get hungry because you have microtubules. Little structure, little threads of chemicals that are holding the membrane of the cell together.
And I use that as evidence that the behavior that we have is just eukaryotic behavior. And so any behavior...
Yeah, again, so something about our behavior has something to do with a cell eating a cell, essentially. So creating a double membrane around the nucleus. That has something to do with us.
Behavior we have, we can't claim to have it, and the parts don't have it. A brick church is made of bricks. And you could go, but it's a church.
The parts don't have it. Again, you just said the parts don't have it.
But it's a church, so it's different. No, it's made of bricks. Its quality that it has, the way it feels to the touch, the way it smells is bricks.
Electrical wires.
Right, so aluminum flies. It doesn't have to be built into an airplane. It just flies by itself.
We're not the same thing mechanically. A cell and a communal organism is not...
See, you don't listen well. Actually, a cell has a very complicated set of chemical pathways that it obviously uses to do information processing.
It obviously uses for information processing. There's nothing obvious about any of that in the sense that the amount of chemicals moving, it's only chemicals, it's not electricity, so it's a very slow pathway, and there's no explicit evidence that those chemicals are actually passing on anything in terms of detailed information besides the information like if there's a lot of one chemical at one end, more of it goes across the tubules. So the information is, yes, we have a lot of that chemical over there. But there ain't nothing that approaching anything called consciousness.
So that it can act alive.
It acts alive. See, there we have it again. It acts alive. So a sperm is a thinking, feeling little swimmer. It's trying to do something.
Now, you don't have to agree with me, but you also don't...
Well, of course I'm not going to agree with you, and I'm going to call this crap, religious crap. I'm going to call this, you know, you're feeding people poison, mind poison, brain poison, thought poison. This is shit. This is crap. This has nothing to do with the goddamn truth of our existence. It's garbage.
I have to pretend I never said that, except for, oh wait, you do have to pretend that, because acknowledging other people's positions is a supreme danger to your own.
And in what way? Again, yeah, me acknowledging the fact that you have idiotic premises and axioms based on no fucking evidence, and every time you show a piece of your evidence, it's easily debunked. You're a fake, a fraud, and a phony. You won't let go of your religion. You have some sort of fucking deep-seated need to defend some kind of whatever Pollyanna crap that you got shoved up your ass as an infant and you can't let go of it.
Same thing mechanically. They can't. It's irrational to assume they have common functions. They're fundamentally mechanically different things.
See, no comment there, right? That's the explicit statement. They're fundamentally different machines. The machine made out of the little machines is fundamentally different. The streets of New York is fundamentally different than the human beings walking it.
So again, this idea that because a brain exists, it must go all the way down to the physics. Because teeth exist, then photons have teeth. This is not good logic. You can't use reduction.
I didn't say that. The reason I think...
Yeah, you did, okay? You said the word reductionism. You said it kind of gives you license to sit there and just say everything is conscious. And that's basically what you fucking said.
They have consciousness is because of the way they behave.
Again, like somehow because something moves, it's conscious. Anything that moves, anything that like the tissue in a tree that pushes fluid up and pushes fluid down, it's going to say it's a consciousness. Anything that has a flagellum is all of a sudden conscious and trying to do something. It has a will and a desire, and it's, you know, thinking about what it's going to do tomorrow and where the white women is at. No, it ain't happening, asshole.
We watched their behavior and figured out they're alive. What behavior were we looking for?
Again, behaviors now dictates whether something's alive. I mean, you know, so if it doesn't move and it doesn't do anything, just stays really quiet, then it's dead. Oh, okay.
For genius, the behavior of a living creature, which is intentions and desires.
Intentions and desires. Again, no, they move. Moving is not an intention or a desire. The fact that something, chemistry, moves, you can have all kinds of salts and all kinds of experiments where the salt will move, the molecules will move. You can put soap water on you can put a soap film on a pot full of water, and then you can put a piece of grease in, and you see all this stuff move all over the place. Does that mean it's alive because it all moved?
If you can't see that, well, I'm not surprised. You're sheltered.
Reductionism is an excuse.
Yeah, fuck you. You're stupid, and you're full of shit.
To freaking shove consciousness into nothing. And again, the evidence is overwhelming. I can go over all the evidence, but I mean, the fact that we can become unconscious is the evidence is right there. The very fact that it's so easy to turn it off means it can be a function of the physics.
No comment to that one either.
Non-woo-woo person would have to believe in what? The reductionism, that that electrons have brains. No, that they feel about having a good day. No, they don't.
And you mischaracterized it.
Well, how am I mischaracterizing? You just said it. I mean, you just said consciousness has to go all the way down because unlike all the other features that we have that don't go all the way down, somehow brains go all the way down.
And you do that on and on and on. You say that.
Nothing. He's not making a single response. It's just like, all right, so I'm just going to pretend you're not making any of these arguments.
Well, I'm just saying that you clearly believe that my consciousness is still on even when it's off. Because that's the only way I could just be tuning it in or something. It's just a consciousness tuner or something. You know, the consciousness would still be on.
Right. So you say it's a really important game, so you have to fight hard. That's fine. I'm not complaining about that. I was asking.
I have to fight for the priorities, and so again, that's not understanding either. And the priorities is actually doing something productive or constructive. And so, yeah, that's what you figure out is, are these guys in my, you know, if you're on a football team, right, you have to measure the rest of the players. Now, you made this argument to somebody else the other day, this metaphor. But I mean, you're not going to...
Yeah, you know what, Gary, screw you, because...
...you're just breaking your back and do this perfect sack if you know nobody else in your team.
You know, but screw that, Gary. Because you're acting like you're taking stuff seriously, but we know you don't entirely take stuff seriously. And we're talking about, hey, you and I agree on IRV. We just passed IRV.
Oh, again, so, you know, he makes the accusation that I don't take something seriously, and then he starts talking about IRV. And he completely ignored, he talked over the point I'm making, which is the clear point is sometimes an ally is no good because it's an asshole. So if the ally is an asshole, you got to cut him loose. This is not going to do you any good. Jesus. Anyway, I've just had enough of this. It's just an insufferable asshole. Pretty much. Anyway, yeah, so Holiday wants to do this physics room thing, and I'm just saying, nah, fuck it. I mean, he's talking about including Skyzer, and I'm like, well, that's a non-starter right there. I'm not doing any room with Skyzer. Not unless he's dead. You know, dead Skyzer, maybe. Or, well, mortally wounded or something. He has to be completely distracted by something else. He has to be gagged and tied up or something, but I'm not doing a room with a Skyzer that talks. So, and you know, there's no way I can communicate with Piro, so it's, you know, it's not looking like a great idea. But if you're going to want to do a room, that's fine. If you can get somebody in it. What I'm going to do is try to write up some questions, you know, 10 or 20 pointed questions. For you assholes to answer, and then you can, you know, if you feel so, to invest a little bit of time to ask me some questions, and that's fine. But yeah, you got to narrow the subject going in. I'm not going to do this Piro thing where I guess he just keeps changing the subject when he's losing the argument. So I'm not going to play that game. So you're going to have, if you're going to do a room, it's going to be limited to one element of physics. You know, one inertia. Wave particle duality, some subject, you know, and there can be, I'm going to, you know, tunneling microscopes can't be one of the subjects. Anyway, but, you know, I just don't see anything productive coming of this unless there's a structure, because I got nothing nice to say to this fucking jerk. Nothing civil. Fucking piece of crap. Wasted so much of my time.